My milk sausage brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Cat President Part 3. My name is Weasel, and in the last episode, we learned a dark secret from Thunderpaw. As I walked back to my room, I couldn't believe it. Thunderpaw more or less admitted outright that he was secretly funding his opponent's campaigns in order to split the vote. Sure, I knew he was rich enough to do that. But it's not possible, right? That's the sort of scheme you expect from a comic book villain. But the next day, yeah. Hey Banders, how's it going? Hey, great news, Frisky dropped out of the presidential race. Oh, huh. One of his anonymous donors pulled all of their funding from the campaign and now he's broke. Frisky had to drop out of the race. Wait, what? Isn't this wonderful? It makes my job as political protester so much easier. Go back a bit. Frisky got a quarter of the vote in Meow and he's quitting? If anything, his campaign should be moving forward. Yeah, I don't get it either, but like Frisky said, he doesn't have enough money to continue a nationwide campaign. He either had to drop out completely or limit his campaigns to a few states. So he did what any politician would do, he dropped out of the race using his leftover campaign money as golden parachute. Isn't politics corrupt? It's all run by money. Maybe more than you know, Banders. Maybe more than you know. I immediately went to the penthouse to see if Thunderpaw had anything to do with this. Of course he did! Are you kidding me? How stupid is my character? He's like 1 + 1 = 7. Yeah, of course. Thunderpaw? Thunderpaw! What is it? Confront him. Let him off the hook. Confront him. Frisky dropped out of the race. What'd you have to do with this? He did? Ha! Not even a full day without funding and he quits. What a loser. Were you responsible for this? Did you withdraw his funding? Yes. Duh. Sheesh. I practically spelled it out for you yesterday. I'm funding all my competitors. How does she not know that yet? How does, he spelled it out. I'm calling the police. This is illegal. No, it's not. I'm free to make political contributions to any campaigns I want to. And since I'm making the contributions through my business, I can donate as much money as I want. How much money are you spending? 350 million. I assume dollars, yes. Well, that's at least less than that now. Frisky spent about 12% of the money I gave him. You're spending $350 million? That's small potatoes compared to what I stand to gain if I'm elected president. And besides, I'm a billionaire. A few millions here or there won't hurt my pocketbook. So you're bribing your competitors with huge financial contributions. But no, I can't be connected to dirty money in an election. It ruined my campaign. No, all the money I give is 100% clean. I give it anonymously, no strings attached. No strings attached? You just cut off all of Frisky's funding and doomed his campaign. That's not a string. That's standard financial policy when it comes to elections. Donors can withdraw unspent money at any time since super PACs aren't run by the candidates themselves. Face it, Wheatlina, everything I'm doing is 100% legal. I'm just taking advantage of an unfair system. We'll see what the media thinks about your schemes. I'm calling a press conference right now to expose you. I'm working for this cat. You think he's gonna tell the truth now? Accessory. What? My brother isn't the only one who can define words. You know what accessories? That's someone who helps commit crimes. Someone who aids and abets a criminal. I know what the word means. I don't see how it applies to the situation. Oh really? Who brought me the finance books last night before I withdrew Frisky's funding? Whose fingerprints are all over the records? You wouldn't. I would. Try to accuse me of breaking the law and I'll take you down with me. You're a vile, sick monster. I've been called worse. If it makes you feel any better, I didn't plan for this to happen. You didn't plan to blackmail me? No, I mean, I didn't plan to fund my opponent's campaigns. It's more of a happy accident. I started back when I was competing with Mr. Whiskers to become the sharp claw candidate from New York. The campaign against Mr. Whisker was brutal, like I said before. Come to think of it, that's how my goofy brother got started with his job as political protester. I paid him to protest Mr. Whiskers at all times, at every event. My funding plan was the sneakiest one I could think of. I secretly donated $1 million to his campaign, then I waited a week. What happened next? I held a press conference and accused him of being soft on crime. I withdrew the money from his campaign and held another press conference, saying that Mr. Whiskers has lost the dollars in funding due to his soft stance on crime. That's really underhanded. I prefer the term underpawed. Either way, I started a snowball effect. More and more people withdrew funding from Mr. Whiskers' campaign. It was enough to defeat him, but it was enough to make a dent in the election. The strategy was so successful that I decided to use it in the primaries. Every time I take one of my opponents, I withdraw some money from their campaign to make it look like they've become less popular. I don't think anyone's noticed, but whatever, it's still useful to keep funding them, if only because they split the vote. And once they finish splitting the vote for you, you'll take away your money and send your campaigns crashing. Now, that's not true. Sure, I withdrew my contributions to Frisky's campaign, but he had plenty of other donors. He could have kept going without my money. Not my fault he gave up early. Fine. My character is apparently always against him, so I might as well argue with him about it. You pulled your funding and you quit immediately afterwards. That seems like a textbook case of cause and effect. Correlation doesn't prove causation, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is sneaky and on a part to finance my opponent's campaigns. Maybe. Try definitely. In that case, I'll do the noble thing and immediately withdraw all my funding. All $350 million? Yep, I'll recall the money right away. What do you think will happen to the other campaigns then? It'd be a pretty big blow to them all, losing funding like that. Maybe they'll crash and burn like Frisky did. Who knows? I hated to admit it, but he had a point. This was a lose-lose situation. No matter when he withdrew his funding, sooner or later it would hurt his opponents. Or was there a third option? What if you withdraw the money slowly over time, like 2% a day? It'd take you 2 months, and it'd be so gradual that I wouldn't crash their campaigns all at once. That would be the fair thing to do, wouldn't it? Too bad I'm not inclined to be fair, not when I have the advantage here. So you'll manipulate your opponents to achieve your own ends. You're an evil, evil cat. Evil kitty cat. It's nothing personal, it's just business. Business is all about clawing down on your opponents by any means necessary. That's not what they taught me in high school. I gotta say, his voice is killing my throat. It really is. I learned from somewhere better than his high school. Real life. I was not the only successful thing Oreo ever taught me. Oh, it was not the only useful thing she taught me. Never ever trust anyone, kid. Not your family, not your friends, and certainly not your political opponents. What happened with you and Oreo? Banner was saying earlier that the two of you were engaged when I don't want to talk about it. Did she break your heart? Is that why you turned into this bitter kitty cat? I said I don't want to talk about it. Now go away and leave me alone. If you even think about revealing my scheme to anyone, I'd deny it and have you arrested. I grabbed the door before he could slam it in my face. Why don't we make a compromise? I won't mention Oreo again if you agree to withdraw funding from your opponent's campaigns. Gee, he could first fire me. Are you trying to blackmail me? Depends. Were you trying to blackmail me earlier? Thunderpaw said nothing for a while. He just glared at me. You'd be a good businesswoman. You've got guts, Kit. Fine, I accept your offer. I'll remove my 2% a day until it's all gone and I'm no longer funding my opponent's campaigns. Happy? Yes. I suppose it doesn't matter anyway. I've got such a commanding lead. They'll fail no matter who money is propping them up. But don't think it's over between us, Sweet Lena. If you try to interfere with my campaign again, you'll fire me? Worse, I'll promote you. Yeah, I can see that. She really hates to work there. My character, even though it chooses it, hates it. Chapter 7, in which we wonder whether Thunderpaw can really play nice. I don't think he can. I mean, he gave in a little bit, but that's pretty much it. Later that day, we flew to New Clawshire, where the next debate and primary were scheduled to take place. As usual, I was forced to sit in the back of the jet with banners. That didn't bother me though. I didn't want to sit up front with Thunderpaw.
My milk saucer brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. Darn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'd have to charge a $15 minimum wage.
I'm so happy that this was in the game. Fantastic. Please stop singing. Yeah, please do. Sheesh, you're in a bad mood today. You've hardly said anything this entire flight. What's up? Nothing. I'm just thinking about the campaign. What's there to worry about? Thunderpaw is in the first place right now. Your campaign is sitting pretty. I don't know. What if he's the wrong candidate? What if someone else deserves to be president? Ha! Of course someone else deserves to be president. Literally anyone else in the country would be a better president than the people who are running. Think about it. Running for president means you're going to spend at least a year and a half doing nothing but talking about yourself and your policies and your plans. Only a complete egomaniac would willingly go through all of that. So you don't like any of the presidential candidates? Nope. Anyone who runs for president is either crazy and egomaniac or both. There's no good reason for anyone to run for president. I say we bring back the good old days when candidates weren't allowed to campaign for themselves. Is that what you really think, or is that your political protest side talking? Of course it's a world I really think. If I said one thing in public but said different things in private, then I'd be no better than the politicians I'm always insulting. Those greedy politicians who only care about money. I think your brother's also obsessed with money. Not all politicians are bad. Thunderpaw is nice. No, he's not. He's obsessed with money. Absolutely, that's how he became a billionaire in the first place. Does he stand to make a lot of money if he's elected president? Yep, since he entered the race, the cat houses he sells have tripled in price. If he wins, the price will probably go up by 10. Everyone will want to live in a house that the president built. Not to mention, he could pass a few laws which help his healthcare investments. So you're saying Thunderpaw is corrupt? No. Actually, that's one of the advantages over the other politicians. Since he's independently wealthy, he's not beholden to donors and special interests. That is, he's not beholden to any special interest besides his own. Well, that's true. Maybe Banners is right. Maybe the political process is corrupt to begin with, and Thunderpaw's just taking advantage of a broken system. I don't know, and I really don't care anymore. I should probably just quit the campaign and stop worrying about it. But Thunderpaw won't let me quit. I can't get out of the situation that easily. Maybe I could find a way to get myself fired. You know what it's called? It's called quitting. It's called resigning. It's a thing you can do. Just pointing that out here. But sure. I know. Thundy is a big blowhard and he acts like a jerk, but facade, that's a French word. It means fake appearance. Deep down, he's just a big softie. I doubt that. Hey, if he was completely heartless, you and I wouldn't be here right now. We'd probably be living out in the street, which is far too many cats and people end up. We need more welfare programs. Let's give free houses to everyone. I like it, but who's going to pay for all these houses? I haven't thought that far ahead yet. Maybe my brother, he builds cats' houses. Genius thought. What if my brother becomes president and manipulates the system to make himself billions in profit? He'd do it by building millions of houses for our country's homeless. His greed would actually help the country. I'm confused. Are you saying political greed is a good thing? Gee, sounds like I am. Well, don't take it too seriously. I don't understand what I'm saying half the time. That's why I always have to define words for myself. Whatever, go away for a bit, will ya? It's time for my scratching, and I don't like to do that in front of other people. I understand. Ew, I'm leaving. It's just scratching. It's like, how is that ew? It's not like he's licking his balls. The only other place in Jet was front up with Thunderpaw, so that's where I went. He was tapping on his phone and giggling. Is he playing like Candy Crush? Oh, look at that cutie. OMG, they're too wonderful. I can't even. That's the best one yet. Are you looking at cute human pictures on your phone? No, and you're not allowed to look at my browsing history to check. For a brief second, I thought I saw him looking at a picture of me there too. But that's crazy, right? I mean, I'm not that cute. I better be careful. I'll use a membership in the Evil Overlord Club. Please, you make it sound like I'm the only dishonest person who's ever run for office. I'm nowhere near as bad President Tommy Rops. President Tommy Rops was probably the worst president we ever had. He gambled away the country's social security program in a drunken poker game against Prussian President Vladimir Kitten. It ended up costing the country $60 trillion. Besides, I did what you asked me to. I've set the accounts to automatically withdraw funding from my opponents, so by the time the national convention comes around, it won't be financing any of them. Happy now? No, I think you should come clean to the media about what you did. Now that would be political suicide. Only an idiot would do something like that. I'm not an idiot. That's why I made extra sure I wasn't breaking any laws. Maybe you didn't break any judicial laws, but you sure broke some moral laws. Oh, please. Are you still mad at me because I insult my opponents and make up fake scandals about them? Fine. Tell you what, I won't do any of that at the debate tonight. Really? Yes, I promise to be nice to all my opponents. What's the catch? There's no catch. Tonight's debate's a throwaway debate, so I can do whatever I want and it doesn't matter. What do you mean it's a throwaway debate? I mean, the news media has already picked Rover as tonight's big winner. No matter what happens and no matter how the poll numbers change, they're going to report that Rover won the debate. But that's dishonest. Yeah, well, I'm not happy about it either, but that's the truth. The media's going to favor Rover tonight, because he's from New Clawshire, so the other candidates and I aren't even ever try to win. So that's why you're going to play fair for once? You're really nice when it doesn't matter? Yeah, pretty much. Well, you're a bigger jerk than I thought. You know what, let's say thank you. Thank you for at least trying to be nice. I aim to please, but after this we're even, got it? I play fair in the debate, you don't tell me anymore about looking up cute pictures on the internet. I promise I won't tell anyone. They'd never believe me anyway. Good, and who knows, maybe you're right. My poll numbers could go up after this. People are always saying I need to lighten up a bit, to win over the critics who think I'm too harsh. Is that what you think? No, I think those guys are spineless jellyfish who are afraid to offending other people, that they run away in fear whenever they hear me. I'm better, I tell you straight. I don't talk out of both sides of my mouth. Yeah, maybe it comes off harsh sometimes, but it's a harsh world. We need a president who will make the harsh decisions, not a soft, cuddly cat who will take a lot, but do nothing. I swear, the way some of those people act, it's like they're afraid to hear someone say the truth. They're always trying to twist and manipulate things to their advantage. When they say hear someone tell the truth plainly, they run in fear. Telling the truth is one thing, being a jerk is another. Well, we're still in the primaries. None of this matters. What? Come on, haven't you noticed? Candidates act extremely and harsh in the primaries, but when it comes to the general election, they're singing a different tune. Caterwauling is a different beat, as it were, playing to a different audience. Are you saying that once you reach a general election, you put an end to your huge jerk act? Maybe, we'll see. We gotta get the general election first, and I will believe we will. So you admit that your jerk routine is just an act? I knew it. Deep down you're a softie who looks up cute pictures in his spare time. Shut up and leave me alone. Sheesh, touchy. Well, he indeed is. And we're gonna continue with Chapter 8, in which the candidates have a heated debate about the pressing issues facing us. In the next episode, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. I'm Weasel, I'm out, and I hope to see you around. Bye-bye! Before we do that, we should have a quick look what's going on. As you can see, crime is at an all-time high. Just lovely, lovely. The GDP, yeah, it's meandering around. Unemployment is pretty high, I gotta say. We gotta work on the economy, and our healthcare is abysmal. Poverty, pretty high as well. Alright, let's begin our term in office. As you can see, we have several situations. I'm gonna go over